Hello ladies and gents, I'm Sir Havoc and welcome to this episode of World of Tanks. Now I want to show you something today because I have made a discovery. I have recently unlocked and bought two Tier 7 tanks. The Tier 7 T20 and the Tier 7 heavy tank, which is a French tank, the AMX M4 something, whatever it is. The one that people used to criticise to me. Now, I've seen people play the T20 and I know it can be a good tank. I wanted to try it out for myself and I wanted to go out that line. And what I've discovered, guys, is that at Tier 7, you seem to get pretty good matchmaking. And at Tier 7, you seem to get like some sort of weird WN8 multiplier. Now, I know that you don't have to get a great score in the Comet to get like crazy WN8. I can remember back in the day when I had the T29 and you didn't have to get a crazy score in that to get a hoorah WN8. And now I'm getting 2k damage in a T20 and I'm like on 3,000-4,000 WN8 for 2k damage. So I'm thinking to myself, there's got to be something in this because I'm playing these Tier 7s, getting good matchmaking, getting good WN8, and I wanted to tell you all about this, okay guys? Now, so there's some little peanuts for you. T20, Comet. The IS is a good one. The T29. If you know of any more, put the comments in the chat, guys. Today, we're going to be watching a guy called Sickis from, dare I say it, Cox Clan. And as you can see, he's a pretty good player. 24k battles, 1,741 overall WN8 with a 54% win rate. Now, this guy knows what he's doing. But I wanted to show this match because, well, he hasn't got the top gun on this T20. He's got the 76mm armor piercing APM62. Now, there's only one advantage of this really, guys, and that is it has greater DPM. It has less penetration and it has less damage, but it does have a faster rate of fire than the Top Gun, and therefore it does have great DPM. Now, I just want to show you something there, guys, just very quickly. Sorry, we all know about getting through here, yeah, we know that, yeah, it's old news, yeah. Oh. But look, and I know this has been available for a while now, but this wasn't always available to come through here. And I wanted to show you guys because I always forget and come up and get shot. So just bear in mind, I'm just going to pause that there. There is no need if you're in a small vehicle to come round here and risk getting shot from there. Because you can just come up here, come round here, come through this gap and come through there. And likewise, like our friend here that we're watching, he's going to come through this area here in his T20. Back to the tank view. Okay, so they're both now through, lovely jubbly, haven't taken a single bit of damage and that's great. Here comes a Tiger. Now what I want to tell you about the T20 is it's something that I love to play. I've got a real love for this tank now. It isn't overly fast, yet it isn't slow. It hits nicely, 240 average damage with the Top Gun. Not this gun, but with the Top Gun. So for Tier 7, that's alright, that'll do. It hasn't got a great rate of fire with the Top Gun. But never guess what, if it did, it would be a bit too OP. So you can see this guy's bouncing loads of shots here. It's an inconvenience. Like, he would, I think if we look at the team score afterwards, you know, how many shots deflected, he'd have like another 1,000 damage. And that's just a problem. Like, I don't know if it's a stratagem this guy's using, and perhaps Sickis, if you watched this, you could tell us. I know some people purposely try to keep the weight down of vehicles by using stock items in a hope that the matchmaking would be better. And I know also sometimes people just like to use a stock gun or a mid gun rather than the Top Gun. There's some people like the DPM. The DPM suits their gameplay, so if they can work around the less penetration, it's a better option for them. I'm going to give this medium gun a go. If I'm being honest, I think I would just prefer the big cannon because the big cannon's got much better pen. So if you are against the Tier 9s, you know, you've got a much better pen at standard ammo rate. And also if there's some really heavily armoured tanks on the enemy side, if you do need to jump up and fire some prem, it does whop out like 241 pen, which is pretty much, you know, enough to do damage to most tanks in the game. But you can just see in him using this rate of fire to great effect, and you wouldn't notice that he's using not the top gun right now. Lovely little shots there. And just pay attention to this guy's movement. He's completely dominating this side of the map. He's taken the central position and he's using it really well. And it's always nice to see someone using a good position here. Now, admittedly, he's probably one of the best players, if not the best player in this match. No, the Shogun is, the Panzer T25. But certainly much better than the guys on the enemy team. But it's a good... You know, some people would say, well, you know, you're a good player beating up lots of good players. The reason I make these videos is, one, so you can watch and have a laugh, and two, so you can learn something. And we only learn something by watching people either make mistakes or play well. I do want to do a mistake series, but I can't find a way of making it too entertaining. I want to get it entertaining so people will watch it. But up until I just devise that, I think we'll just watch some good games for now. So you can see he ain't afraid to come out the middle, guys. He ain't afraid to relocate. He's come and took out the looks. He's yet to take a shot, so he's doing really well. He's currently on just under 2,000 damage, and that's the 4,220 WN8. A WN8 score that we'd all be proud of, let's be honest. Now, this is what I'm saying to you. Look, 2,000 damage, 4,000 WN8. It's a nice WN8 multiplier. It's almost like premium tank WN8 multipliers. And this is what I'm saying to you. I think there's something in tier 10s at the moment where they... Not tier 10s, tier 7s at the moment, where you get good, kind of fair matchmaking and you get a good WN8 multiplier. So, it might be time for some of you to start buying back some of your favourite tier 7s, you know. Also, this tier 7s are really important tier. A lot of you guys, you know, you get into the game, you buy tier 8 prems and then you suck in them. And you suck because you haven't learned the top tier game. At tier 8, you can play against tier 10s, you get your ass kicked. Tier 7s is a nice tier to be playing at, because it's up from like the crash tiers, like it's up from like the 4s and the 5s. Tier 6 is a nice tier. I always really like tier 6, but I love tier 7. And what I would say is, if you're just coming from tier 5s and tier 6, spend some time in tier 7. Don't rush up the tier 8s, tier 9s, tier 10s, because the level of gameplay really does change, and you really must know your tanks and the weak spots. And if you don't, you will literally just get your bottom handed to you on a regular basis. And that's only going to lead to a loss of credits, a loss of morale, and not much enjoyment from the game. And enjoyment from the game is really what we want to do, guys. That's what we're here. That's what we're about, isn't it? So, I'm telling you now, if you're an inexperienced player, or maybe you're a bad player, and you're thinking, what do I do next? It's not working for me. Give your tier 10s, your tier 9s, and your tier 8s a break. Drop back, rebuy some of your tier 7s and revisit them. Because it's a pleasant tier. It's the middle ground between the crash tiers and the top flight. And as you can see, you know, you can have some nice games. I played some with my old mate Skullboy the other day. I think we had about a 3,500 WN8 over and a 70-odd% win rate over about 20-odd games. And we just played tier 7. And do you know what? We didn't get one bottom tier game. It was ridiculous. We got top tier after top tier, and we got mid tier as well. Don't get me wrong. In a tier 10, in a tier 7 medium, you've still got tier 7 heavies to deal with at top tier, and that can be a pain. Let me tell you, the T29 can be a pain. The AMX M445, you know, it's a lovely gun on that. Yeah, it's the same gun as the ARL, but it handles better because of the tank, and it fires better. So, yeah. Give tier 7 a little go, guys. Well, here we are. So it's 3 versus 4. And, you know, there's 2 blue players here. And this guy, Sikis, is doing a really good job. He's been spotted now. Just pull him back. Now, what I want to do is I'm just going to pause that there and show you something. Because I took a little look at the game. I thought, what's going on? You know, and I was quite impressed. And I'll show you why. Let me just put this on speed fast. Dude. I like this free cam. It really does help look and see what's going on a bit better. So I want to show you this area here, guys. You can see, you might be thinking this Panzer T25 is hiding, he's just being cowardly. Well, I would say he's not. If you look at the minimap, the IS was spotted last here. He could easily be coming up here to move into the cap. And we don't know what damage, what health points the IS is on. It could be like a 2-3 shot for this T25. So what this guy's doing, he's down in this dip. And look, he's behind this nice bit of bush cover. And what he's going to do, he's going to wait for someone to come out. And then he's got a lovely little areas. He's got cover he can peep out from. You know, he could probably put 2 or 3 shots into an IS. If he let that IS go up there, he could probably put 2, almost certainly 3 shots in before that IS turns round. And then if the time the IS turns round, he's reloaded, put another one, he could easily take the IS out. So that's a lovely little ambush position there. And from Shogun, from the NXD clan. So nice, good on you, Shogun. Thank you for showing me that, mate. I'm going to zoom over here. Now, the SU-100 is a red player. Sammy 88786. He's only played 3k battles with a 46% win rate, so he's still very much learning the game. We can't see what damage he's got there, if any, but he's taken himself up a position here. Now, Sammy, if you do end up watching this, buddy, look, you can clearly be spotted down there, mate. You'll be much better off trying to conceal yourself just here in this bush, okay, maybe even pulling back a bit to try and get a shot, or maybe even you might want to come here, you know, pulling back a little bit. You've got the guy in the centre there spotting little bits and bobs, so you know you could maybe defend a little bit deeper, or even be up here in a bit of cover looking that way. But just try not to stay in the open like that, especially when you're a lower tier vehicle. Right, so let's go back to the tank we're watching, guys. Here we go. It's Sikis in his T20 Tier 7 medium tank. It's a USA tank, and I'm just telling you that it's awesome. The reason I like this tank is because it don't go too fast. Now, I'm a light tank player. I'm a very exceptional light tank player. I'm good at getting myself out of sticky situations, but the reality is the speed of the tank puts you in sticky situations, and I do die a lot, you know. I'm a little bit gung-ho sometimes. What I like about the T20 is it's not really fast enough to get you in them sticky situations, not unless you're really gung-ho, you know. So I like that about it. It's got lovely gun depression. It can really peak nicely, 10 degrees in fact. So, you know, that's the best you're going to get. Aiming time with both guns is really respectable. You know, it isn't great at getting up steep hills. You know, you will suffer trying to get up them. You're not really going to get into these hard to reach places with this vehicle. And the armour isn't great. But you do get the odd bounce like you do with any tank, you know, as long as you keep on the move and keep, you know, backwards and forwards. Look at this guy here. See what he's doing? Fire move. And this is what you want to do. Sometimes your mobility is your armour in a vehicle. And even with premium rounds now, he's ran out of standard rounds. So even with premium rounds, you know, he's getting the odd bounce. He's just been hit by the Jagdpanther. And he's going to try and take this IS out of the game. Another shot with the Jagdpanther there. Can he finish it off? Oh, low roll. Unbelievable, mate. He must be cursing now. And it's the Jagdpanther's time to take some damage now. Put a blind shot in. Didn't put another one in. And there's the STRV coming up here. You can see that the Panzer T25 is coming into G2 now. He was triggered the moment that the other stuff was spotted, and he's making his way along the flank to try and give some support from the strategic high ground that the 2-line offers, which is great strategic high ground. So here we are with the STRV. Now the STRV is probably not expecting this. You know, this guy's reload with the mid gun, the 76mm, is almost as fast as his autocannon. So unlucky for the STRV, he was quickly dispatched there. Here's the IS. I was just wondering if he could get a shot through that building then. I don't think he did have a shot, maybe for a split second. What I love about what this guy does is he's not afraid to just disengage. He doesn't play the obvious play. Now, a lot of people would try to go through the gap, get down there, take another shot from the IS. But he doesn't, he disengages. Let's go back and look for the Jagdpanther. He knows he's here. And the Jagdpanther isn't a great player, so he wouldn't have done anything hugely imaginative. Wouldn't surprise me if he's in the same place. Yes, he is. Look, there we go. That's the last shot he'll make. Or hit. There you go, and the Jagdpanther's dispatched. Now, what that means, guys, and why these relocations are really important, is because now the IS and the AMX are looking at him down there. And they'll start to make a different play based on what they've just seen. And that's why relocation in this game is so effective, because you've got to give people misinformation. Wow, where did that go? That just went off the map almost there. Now, he's only got 9 shots left of damage in rounds. The rest is HE of 5 shots. So he needs to be a bit careful here. We need the Panzer T25 to do a bit of damage. This AMX has got 819 damage left, guys. So he needs to make the most of every single shot here. Oh, hit the ground. How unlucky. Where did that go? That hit. Nice. Oh, he's torched him. Lovely. And another one. Nice. That should almost certainly have hit as well. So he's got 5 prim rounds, 5 HE here. So he's like, there is enough damage. The IS is a one-shot, so I think he can breathe a little bit easier. But he does need to make his shots count. We don't know where the IS is right at this moment in time. Oh, the IS has suddenly come out of nowhere. This is a gift. This is a gift. Beautiful. Quick use of auto aim. Straight into the front plate of the IS. That takes him out. And now he's on 7 kills. 451 damage we know about. And 14,866 WN8. And this has been a lovely game for someone playing in a tier 7 medium tank. Not known to be the best one in the game. And he's playing not with the top gun, but with, I think, the mid gun. So not the best option in the game. He's certainly had a lot of shots bounce because of the low penetration of this gun. But here he comes into the back of the AMX, bang, and he takes him out. Lovely, securing himself a Radley Walters medal there, guys. And that was just a nice game to watch. It was a pleasant game. He bounced about the map. He put some nice shots in. He worked the T20, showed us, you know, what it can do. And like you say, you know, 15,000 W8 for 4.5k damage. You know, that is kind of like tank WN8. And I think I've got a point with this tier 7 WN8 matchmaking, guys. So check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments, because I think tier 7 at the moment is the tier to play if you want to be bolstering up your score. You want to be playing some nice tanks in a tier that isn't hugely OP like it is. Not OP, it's the wrong word. Isn't hugely, you know, it hasn't got that massive gap between, you know, great players and mediocre players. Tier 8 gets harder, 9 harder still than 10. Well, 10, it's one of them. 10's easy because it's top tier. You're always top tier. But it's hard because you've got to know the tanks. Once you know the tanks, it becomes easier again. But you've still got to know the tanks. And for a lot of mediocre players, a lot of bad players, or a lot of beginners, it really isn't the solution to start racing up there. If you've been playing for a while, you've been dwelling at 5 and 6, and you've been getting reasonable scores, push yourself up to 7. If you haven't getting reasonable scores, push it up there anyway. See where you fare. But don't try to race to 8. And if you're having a bad time at 8, 9 and 10, jump down to 7. And just tell me how you get on, guys. Now, I think it's time to go see the post-game stats. Come on. So here we are, guys. We're in the post-game stats. Thanks to the World of Tanks replays. If you haven't checked out this site, it really is worth a look. It is lovely. You can shift through there, see some replays. You can search for specific tanks or this, that, and the other. And it's always worth watching replays to learn some tips about the game, especially your own ones, right? So here we go. It was Abbey. It was a standard match. And of course, this is an ace tanker game. And he's got his Radley Walters, his high caliber, his tank sniper, and his top gun, of course. And we can see from this front page that, you know, he's done a pretty good job. He's done some good work here. Now, let's check out these team scores. Wow. This is the story, guys. Actually finished on 5,222 damage. So a lot of them blind shots he was firing hit, because we only saw 4,500 in that game. So there was another 700 from blind shots. So I think, you know, probably looking at that, the blind shot into the AMX at the end, done. Some of that would have been the fire, you know, because we couldn't see the fire as it went down. So that's nice. Nice damage. So he would have been up in the 20,000 WN8 with that. Surely. Surely. Now, his team pretty much underperformed. You know, most of the team not even managing to achieve 700 damage. The OI experimental and 0 damage. You know, a lot of these tanks that normally rack up a little bit of damage, not really doing particularly well, which enabled him to push forwards and give him the opportunity he needed to stand his ground, acquire that 5,000 damage, 8 kills, and 1,757 base XP, which was really lovely. Now, worthy a note was the AMX M4 on the enemy side. He was trying to smash a bit in there, but again, didn't really have a lot of support from in the team. A lot of the team made mistakes. A lot of the team on the enemy didn't get into the game. The T29 really does need to do better than 583. He was the complete backbone of that team and didn't really manage to get himself into the game, but it does happen like that sometimes. Now, if we're looking at the scores here, guys, of the details, shots fired, 60, hit 50, and 45 pens. So we saw 10 deflections there, and that could well have been another 1,000 damage. had that been, you know, a gun with more pen. So, you know, that could well be up in the 6,000 odd there, guys. The 6,000. But it isn't. It's 5,000. That's perfectly great. It's 1,753 of a distance more than 300 metres. And not much damage through the detecting. But that's alright, because he done the damage. Now, we will take a little look at the detailed report. But what we did notice in the game is he had to use all of his standard rounds. And then due to the fact he wasn't using the top gun, he did have to use a huge amount of premium shells as well. As a result, he obviously didn't make a profit in this game. He did have a loss, but only 7,000 credit loss there with a premium account. And that's alright, you know, for this sort of game. It's a lovely little game showcasing what this vehicle you can do. You should just imagine what it can do now with the Top Gun, can't you? You know, when it's really punching through armour, you know. So, there you go, guys. That's it for today. I hope you did enjoy your video. Please remember to subscribe, like, or leave a lovely comment if you've got to this part of the video. Don't forget, I am the founder of World of Tanks University, and we are now still recruiting members. We do regular trainings almost each day of the week. We run team games pretty much each day. Let me put my teeth back in. Team games each day of the week. We do strongholds, clan wars, and face it. And we're just mega active. Normally always over 100, 130, 150 people on in Teamspeak in the evenings and the busy times. Sometimes up to 200 people on at any one time. And we've got a number of clans. We've got clans on the EU, NA and SEA servers. We also teach in different languages. We can teach in Dutch. We can teach now in Polish. First Polish language is coming up Wednesday. So 2 days time. That'll be 8 o'clock Polish time. So if you're speaking Polish and you want some language and what lessons in Polish, come and check that out. And we're looking to teach in French and German as well. Got a friend, a follower, someone that pops into my stream offering to teach in Romanian, so we could get some Romanian languages up. I want to try and cover as many languages as possible because, hey, I know a lot of us speak English, but a lot of us don't. And I want to offer what we offer in the English language to the other guys as well. Anyway, enough of me babbling on. All the details you know for any of that will be in the description, like it always is. And just thank you for stopping by. Much obliged. Really do appreciate you coming to my channel. See you later. My name's Havoc. Goodbye. My name's Havoc. Goodbye for now. See ya.